All right, first and foremost, I want to give a call all y'all by Shimmy Al Shai. That's all praise to the Most High God in the name of His only God's Son. This is the officer priest, Ya'as Bun Lawyer.
Con. This is the officer Bazak Barayah Banyamyan.
I'm dealing with a lesson today. We're going to get into the law. We're going to deal with idolatry because our people are heavy on idolatry, especially our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters we know. And Levi, man, so-called Haitian, man. Heavy in that Catholic Church, heavy dealing with damn Caesar Borgia, right? Along with our Northern Kingdoms, our so-called Hispanic and Native Indian brothers and sisters, right? They have murals of Caesar or what they depict as the Virgin Mary, which just goes back to Semiramis, right? Tammuz, and all those sorts of things, right? Let me get Exodus 23-5. Bible Kushah.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Can't read.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
Right, any graven image. Right, we're not supposed to have any other powers besides the Most High Abinah Yahweh, right? And not make thee any graven image. Right, when you go into the etymology of that word image, it's an idea, a philosophy. People, when they start to do, get to graven images and carving images, they think of an idea, right, to push out an image and then push out the philosophy of it, right? Just like when they brought the picture of Caesar Borgia over here to the Americas, and had our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters either bow down to that image or be killed. And what did they push along with that? Catholicism and Christianity. Same goes along with them coming to the western shores of Africa, again the Southern Kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and also pushing that image. And that's why we heavy in Christianity.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Can't read.
Or that is in the earth beneath.
Can't read.
Or that is in the water under the earth.
Or that is in the water under the earth. This all, it all deals with Greek mythology as well, right? We was under Greek rule, in bondage under the Greeks, right? They deal with Zeus, they deal with Hades, they got water gods, wind gods, right? Lightning gods, and Jake, they'll be heavy into that, especially dealing with in the likeness of the things in up in heaven above, dealing with the stars, right? Zodiac sign, right? We just before the video got deleted by Esau, we was going into September 9th to not September 9th, September 23rd, right? Dealing with a planet birthing a dragon, right? That's dealing and making you graven images of what's in in the likeness in heaven above. Read.
And just to silverback off of that, when I was in school, even dealing with Christianity, I was heavy into Greek mythology because it just sounds so good. I mean, we wasn't shit, so we wasn't nothing, so we heard. So you cleave on to what's exciting. So you had Zeus, the god of the thunder, and then you had Poseidon, the god of the ocean. You know what I'm saying? You had Athena, she was the most prettiest. You know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about the fact that these are all Edomites. You know what I'm saying? In vision as well as in the understanding of who they are, and why they were created. So that's I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, like Little Mermaid, right? We have our Jake, little Both, our little daughters, right, or nieces, or cousins, right, or sisters. They want, I want to be Little Mermaid for Halloween, or they have Little Mermaid all over their damn walls, right? Instead of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, but yet not being taught by their elders, right? So that's why we're making this lesson. Read.
All right, verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord, for I, the Lord, thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Right, of them that hate the Most High. When you bow down and you serve these other powers, you hate the Most High. You're not showing love to the Most High. This is the law, statutes, and commandments. This is part of the 10. Part of the 10 commandments. There's 613 laws, right? 613 commandments that you're supposed to keep. How do you love the Most High? You keep His commandments, because His commandments aren't grievous, right? They're not burdensome to keep. It's not burdensome to not bow down or serve these other, these idols. Because what do they do in the Catholic Church? You walk in the Catholic Church, you dip your hand in the holy water, you make that T sign on your head, your chest, across your chest, and what do? You go bow down to Caesar, or you go, and then you have the Virgin Mary right outdoors of that church, right? And it says that he will put the iniquities upon the children of the fathers that did this iniquity, right? And that's why what's happening today. You got the hurricanes in Puerto Rico, in Barbados, right? The hurricanes in Houston, Florida, right? Earthquake in Mexico, right? Fires in our Gadite, our North American Indian brothers reservations. Why? Because they bound down and they serving Caesar. They're bound down and serving the white boy. One who the world calls Jesus Christ is an actual black man.
Bring it up.
According to Revelation 1. Right? Now give me now we're gonna get into some history, dealing with what happened to Jake when he, wanted to have his own, image, his own idol. Right? Give me Exodus 32. I want to say start at Salakia. Start at 1.
Come.
Right? And then I'll tell you when to jump verse to the verse I want. Go ahead.
It's book of Exodus, chapter 32, from the top. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount,
right? Because this is when Moses went up the mount to talk to the Most High, because we were scared to talk to the Most High after we heard His voice, right? Or our ancestors did, right? Read.
The people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods which shall go before us.
Right? They said, tell Aaron, get up, man. We want gods. We want other powers, right? While Moses is up there dealing with the Most High, getting what he needs to be to bring back down to the Israelites. Right? Read.
For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what has become of him.
Right? They're saying because Moses is up there. He's been up there for a minute.
Come on.
We don't know what he's going to come back and do. Right? Read.
And Aaron said unto them.
It's a lot because they haven't seen all the type of, miracles that Moses was doing, bringing them through the wilderness, bringing them through the Red Sea, right? But through the power of Yahweh, right? Bashim Yahweh, right? Read.
And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
Right, so Aaron's gathering all the gold, right? Read.
And all the people break off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron.
Can't read.
Verse 4. And he received them in their hand, and fashioned it with a gravening tool.
With a gravening tool. Right, we just read in Exodus 20. Don't make any graven images, right? Read.
After he had made it a molten calf.
A molten calf. Right, read.
And they said, These by thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
Right, so they're saying this molten calf is what brought them out of the land of Egypt, out of the land of bondage, when it was the Most High Yahweh himself that brought us out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, right? Go ahead.
And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said.
Right, he made proclamation, right? A calling out. He put this thing on the altar and made a calling out, right? And said, what, read?
Tomorrow,
read,
is a feast of the Lord.
Come on, read.
And they rose up early in the morning, and Slakia, in the morrow, and offered burnt offerings, and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up to play.
Right, serving this graven image, which the Most High told us not to do. Right, read.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Go, get thee down from thy people, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt, have corrupted themselves.
Right, they corrupted themselves with this molten calf, this graven image, this idol, right? This image, this idol meaning image of a deity. Right now, jump to 26 and 26 and 28. Let's see what happens, right? Because when you go along with that story, the Most High's anger began to wax hot. Moses was, dealing with the Most High, telling, why are you so angry? So he, Moses goes down, and let's see what happens. Start at, I want to say 20, 24. No, 25. Salah, yeah, 25. Salah, you're right.
Verse 25. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked under their shame amongst their enemies.
Come on, read.
Then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said,
right, Moses stood in the gate of the camp. He saw that they naked, right? According to their shame. What? That molten calf, graven image, read.
Who is on the Lord's side?
So Moses went to the gate and asked, who's on Yahweh's side? Right? Because everybody was serving, bowing down, right, to this molten calf, read.
Let him come unto me.
Let him come unto me, read.
And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him.
All the sons of Levi, so-called Haitian men, gathered themselves, right, read.
And he said unto them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel.
Right, thus saith Yahweh. Right, meaning this is a commandment that Yahweh then gave unto Moses to tell all the sons of Levi, right, read.
Put every man his sword by his side.
Right, gird up your loins and strap up, read.
And go in and out from the gate. And go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp.
Right, throughout the camp. Go gate to gate throughout the camp, right? Let's see what happens. Let's see the judgment, right, for serving this molten calf, read.
And slay every man his brother.
And slay every man. Kill, smite, destroy, consume every brother his what, read?
And every man his companion.
Every man's companion, read.
And every man his neighbor.
Come on.
And the children of Levi did according to the word of Moses.
Right, kept that commandment. They obeyed the voice of the Most High. Right, that was the commandment that was given unto Moses. They obeyed that. Right, read.
And there fell of the people that day about 3,000 men.
Right, so the sons of Levi killed 3,000 men that was out there naked, that was out there serving this molten image, right, this molten calf, golden calf. Right, read.
For Moses had said, consecrate yourself today to the Lord.
What's that? That's 29?
Y'all
don't need that. Salah. All right, now jump 2 chapters in the book of Exodus 34. And read from 11 to 16. It's
the book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 11.
Right, because we're going to get into the judgments. People, give me give me Amos 3 and 6 real quick. Because a lot of people, dealing with just social media and, the media from the TVs and what they have done, they research on. A lot of people believe that all these atrocities and what they say natural disasters is happening, they'll just say the so-called white man is doing that. It's horrible. He's creating the hurricanes. He's creating the wildfires. He's creating the earthquake. Right, but let's see what the Bible says.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city?
Right, shall a trumpet be blown in the city? A warning. Right, read.
And the people not be afraid?
And the people not be afraid? Weren't these people afraid when they heard that the hurricanes was coming? Weren't these people afraid when they felt the little rattle? Then they really felt it shake them and knock their buildings down? Right? Were the people really afraid when these little small fires happen? And then now next thing you know, you have acres and acres burned up. Read.
Shall there be evil in a city?
Come on, read.
And the Lord hath not done it?
Right? So the Most High does all these things. The Most High is spawning out all these spots where the Israelites are at. Puerto Rico, the West Indies Islands, right? Florida, dealing with Reuben, right? Levi, Judah, Benjamin, right? Ephraim, Manasseh, going to Texas, dealing with Judah, dealing with Issachar, these wildfires, dealing with Gad.
Come.
Right? So the Most High is doing all these judgments. And the big reasons because of idolatry. But let's go to the book of Exodus 34, 11 and 16.
Con. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 34, verse 11. Observe thou that which I command thee this day.
Right. So we're supposed to observe the law, statutes, and commandments. Read.
Behold, I drive out before thee the Amorite.
Come on, read.
And the Canaanite.
Come on.
And the Hittite.
Come on.
And the Perizzite.
Go ahead.
And the Hivite.
Go ahead.
And the Jebusite.
Right. All these nations that where we went with, when you deal with the book of Joshua, these are all the nations that we had to conquer, right, to get our land, the land of Canaan, right, to get our possession what the Most High gave us through His orders, right. We ain't just going out and we doing this, out of our own, word, out of our own obedience, right, from another man's mouth. We did all that through the Most High's commandment, right. Read.
Verse 12. Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest.
Right. So we're supposed to take heed to our own selves. We're supposed to take heed to our own customs, our own heritage, right? Our own nationalities, our own God. Right? Read.
Lest it be for a snare in the midst of thee.
Come on.
But ye shall destroy their altars.
Right? We're supposed to destroy their altars. Just like, who was this? Gideon, the son of Joash, right? The son of Yosh. He destroyed Baal, those altars in Baal. What they and that's written, that's talked about in the book of Judges, chapter 6. What did the city want to do? They wanted to kill Gideon. Right? But what did Yosh say? Joash say, hey, whoever stands up for this idol, let you be put to death. Right? Read.
Break their images and cut down their groves.
Come on, go ahead.
For thou shalt worship no other God. For the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God.
Right? So the Most High is a jealous God. We're supposed to be breaking down these altars, right? Breaking down these idols, these graven images. Right? Read.
Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a-whoring after their gods.
Right? So, because if we didn't take heed to our own law, statute, commandments, right? Break and shatter these pieces to shreds of these idols that was put out in the land, we was going to make a covenant with the heathen, right? And we're going to go into history dealing with what happened when we made a covenant with the heathen. We went to go serve their gods, right? Bow down to their gods, sacrifice unto their gods, right? Go ahead.
And one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice.
John, where you at?
That was 15.
Go ahead. 16.
And thou take of their daughters unto thy sons.
Right. So if we was to go and make a covenant with the heathen, we was going to take their daughters unto our sons. Read.
And their daughters go a-whoring after their gods.
Right. Come on, read.
And make thy sons go a-whoring after their gods.
Come on.
That was 16.
That was 16?
Come on.
Salakia. Give me Numbers 25, 1 through 5. All right, now we're going to get into some more Hebrew Israelite history, more judgment done on what happened, to us when we went and broke the Most High's law, statutes, commandments with idolatry. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 25, verse 1. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people begun to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab.
The daughters of Moab, the so-called Chinese, read.
And they called the people unto the sacrifices of their gods.
Right, so the daughters of Moab called the Israelite sons unto go sacrifice unto their gods. And we're going to see what happens later down the line, right? Go ahead.
And the people did eat and bowed down to their gods.
Right, the people did eat. So they saw their gods. They seen it, what they was cooking, who they was cooking for, who's they sacrificing unto. And that's why we have to be prudent men, right? We have to be very cautious of where we go out to eat, whether it be Chinese spot, if you like Chinese, Mexican restaurants, right? Even, Benjamin Jamaican spots, right? Judite spots, because they might have Caesar in there. They might have the Virgin Mary in there. And that's what they sacrificing their foods unto. They go and they pray to to these idols, right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor.
Come on, read.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel.
So the Most High, he was pissed off, right?
And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun.
Right. So the Most High told Moses, you go take everybody's head off.
Come.
Right, read.
That the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel.
Right, because that was a commandment that was given unto Moses. Right, read.
And Moses said unto the judges of Israel.
So he obeyed the Most High. Read.
Slay every man, Slakia, slay every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor.
Right, so Moses went to the judges of Israel, told them, you go slay every one that went and sacrificed unto this God of the Moabites, went and ate the food that was sacrificed unto this God of the Moabites. Right, read.
Verse 6, and behold.
That was it on that.
Yeah, okay.
That was it on that. But you see, that's the judgment, right? That was placed on our ancestors in the ancient time. They got dealt with then and there. But now today, the Most High sends his angels to do his work, because the Most High doesn't get off the throne.
God.
Right? So the Most High sends his angels to cause these hurricanes, these earthquakes, these tornadoes, right? To wake Jacob up. Who's Jacob? Israel. Who's Israel? 12 tribes. Right? Who's the 12 tribes? So-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian. Right? Let me get Leviticus 26:1. Then jump to 14 to 16, then jump to 30. Baba Shah.
You don't have to repeat that, but I'm
yeah, come. Go ahead. Just Leviticus 26:1. I'll tell you when to jump.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols.
Right, no idols. No image of a deity, read.
Nor graven image. Neither rear you up a standing image.
Right, we ain't supposed to have idols in our house, no images in our house. I'm pretty sure, because I got a part of the side of my family that's Issachar. They got Caesar all in there, the Virgin Mary all up in there, right? Even my grandmother from my father's side, right? She had a Caesar in there as well. Caesar in her house, right? But go ahead.
Neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land.
Right, any image of stone, no images of stone, right? Where's Caesar? The image of, when you think about certain places that have images of stone, right? You think of where? Brazil, the land of Asher. I've done been to Rosarito about 2-3 times. You see Caesar Borgia in the land of Issachar. I want to say, isn't it in was it Niger or Nigeria where they have the biggest Caesar? They just have
it could be Nigeria.
And then one in they have a Caesar Borgia in Ohio. Sick, man. The Most High told us not to do these things. Right? Go ahead. But then Jake, he'll go to these churches, and that's why Esau goes in those churches, right? The Most High sends his evil angels, those demons, on Esau to go and shoot y'all up. Right? But y'all want to turn around, y'all want to forgive the devil. Right? Go ahead.
Neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it, for I am the Lord your God.
Right. Now jump to verse 14 through 16.
Come on. It's Leviticus chapter 26, verse 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and if ye shall despise my statutes.
Right, so if we was to disobey the Most High, read.
Or if your soul abhor my judgments.
Right, so if our soul hates the judgments of the Most High, read.
So that ye will not do all my commandments.
Can't read.
But that ye break my covenant.
Can't read.
I also will do this unto you.
Right, so the Most High is going to do it right back. What goes around comes around. Karma, right? Read.
I will even appoint over you terror.
Right, terror. Well, who's that terror? These police, right? The ICE, right? The immigration system, right? Those are the terrors, right? These damn crazy devils, man. So-called white men coming and shooting your churches up. That's the terror, right? Read.
Consumption
right? Consumption, death, right? Read.
And the burning ague.
The burning of ague, mean your sickness, going into STDs, AIDS, diabetes, cancer, prostate cancer, right? Lung cancer, tumors, right? Read.
That shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart.
Right, called sorrow of heart. Read.
And ye shall sow your seed in vain.
Right, sow our seed in vain and cursing. Right? We're going to get into the book of Deuteronomy in a minute. Read.
For your enemies shall eat it.
Right, our enemies shall eat our seeds up. Right, how? Forcing a philosophy on our seeds. Right? Turning our seeds into what we call today house Negroes. Right? Incarcerating our seeds too as well. And it can be unjustly killing our seeds. Freddie Gray had a mother and father, right? Trayvon Martin,
Tamir Rice,
12-year-old boy. That goes into what? His parents dealing with idolatry. Probably had Caesar all in their house. White boy Jesus, right? That was it on 16.
16.
Now go to verse 30. Right?
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 30. And I will destroy your high places.
Right, destroy your high places. Read.
And cut down your images.
Cut down your images. Puerto Rico, pretty sure they had plenty of images, right? Dealing with Caesar and the Virgin Mary. The Most High cut that down. Right, read.
And cast your carcasses upon the carcasses of your idols.
Right. Cast your carcasses, your dead bodies upon these already dead bodies, right? These dead idols. Because there's only one living power, and that's Yahweh.
God.
Right? And that's also dealing with these earthquakes in Mexico. You go into, I'm pretty sure you went into those schools, man.
The rebel.
You know, in that rebel, there's Caesar in there. The Virgin Mary's in there. Right, read.
And my soul shall abhor you.
Right, and the Most High soul shall hate you.
God.
For dealing with these idols. Right, that was on 30.
God.
Let me get Jeremiah 2:27 to 28. Right, because you're dealing with these dead bodies that's on top of these dead idols with no life, that gives you no life, but gives you death, as we've read in the history of of Jake. Deal with that, man. You always you go to pretty sure brothers that have been to funerals. You probably got whether your mom, your grandma, or cousin, cousin's wife, right? Or maybe even yourself, if you just came in this truth and you done had a loved one lost, you ask why God? Take those idols out your house, right? Start fresh, right? As the scripture say, clean your house out, right? Our temple, that's clean your temple out, right? Especially the philosophy and the ideology of it. Clean that Christianity mind out, that Catholicism, Islam, wipe that all out. We got to clean that out. But the Most High is going to continue to curse us. He's going to continue to jack us up. Right? Go ahead.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 27. Saying to a stock, thou art my father.
Right? Saying to wood, thou art my father. Going to that church, right? Especially the Catholic Church.
God.
You calling that white boy Jesus your father. Right? Read. That's the stock, wood. Read.
And to a stone.
That cobblestone. The ones that want to be in the Nation of Islam, when that religion belongs to the Israelites, so-called Arab men.
God.
The so-called Arab men forced that on us, right? But we want to steal and we want to go deal with the Quran. Which is just a revised version of the Bible, but implemented with its own, religious beliefs, right? And dealing with the Quran is sick because I had a brother, in our camp, by y'all recall. He showed me one of the scriptures in they literature dealing with, if there's no women around, you could lay with a goat. And when you lay with a goat, then the goat's just unclean. You got to kill the goat, but you're not unclean. See, in the scriptures, and when you go to the book of Leviticus, it's against bestiality.
That's right.
All right. So that's why we got to keep this Torah, this law, right? The law, the Torah, meaning law, direction, and instruction, right? And that all leads to righteousness. When you lean to that righteousness, that leads to salvation. Right? Go ahead.
And to a stone thou hast brought me forth.
Can't read.
For they have turned their back unto me.
Right? So our people turn their back on the Most High because they have faith in this cross. The white boy on it. They have faith in this cobblestone, right? That fell out of the sky. Right? Read.
And not their face. But in the time of their trouble, they will say.
Right? In the time of their trouble, in the time of those hurricanes, the time of those earthquakes, the time of those wildfires, what would they say? Read.
Arise and save us.
Right? Arise and save us. Right? Read.
Verse 28. But where are thy gods that thou hast made thee?
Right? So they're going to say to the Most High, save us. We're in trouble. Right? Oh my God. Please. Most High is going to say, where's your gods that you done put up in the land? Where's your God that you put in your house? Where's your God that you be lighting a candle into, sacrificing to, bowing down into, right? Running that rosary. Right? Read.
Let them arise.
Let them arise. Let them come and save you. Read.
If they can save thee in the time of thy trouble.
Right. If those dead things can save you in the time of your trouble, go listen. Just go that way. Right? It's like dealing with your household, man. You give your pops or your mom some type of attitude, and then you come back, later trying to ask for permission to do this and that. Listen, go do that. Go do what you just did earlier. Right? Read.
According to the number of the cities are thy gods, O Judah.
Right, O Judah. Dealing with the southern kingdom. Right, and that's why the prophet chief priest this past Saturday, he went to Ezekiel 94. Right? Most High dealt with his sanctuary first, which is who the Levites. So-called Haitian, I want to say, 7 years ago, dealing with the earthquake. Jack Haiti completely up. Why? Bound down serving Caesar. Right? Let me get Deuteronomy 28:1. Now, dealing with breaking these laws, statutes, and commandments, we didn't see the judgments that happened to our ancestors. We're seeing the judgments that's happening to our people today for idolatry. You got Jake, with that cross on his neck, that gold cross on his neck, that white boy Caesar on his neck, right? Just golded out, diamond out, right? Or even, you got Jake out here that wear the damn ankh as well. And they getting jacked up. Right?
It's the book of Deuteronomy.
But let's see. Go ahead. But let's see what happens. What would have happened if we would have obeyed the Most High? Read.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Can't read.
To observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
He set us on high above all nations of the earth. We ain't supposed to set these idols in high places. We're supposed to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments so the Most High could set us on a high standard, on a high place. And it was for a reason that we was given these laws, statutes, and commandments. It was specifically a reason for our own people. Dylan, because we like to say when our elders come up and try to tell us something, they're telling us something that's not helping us lead us to our salvation. They leading us astray. Anything an old head has to say, it literally has to do with wisdom of what he's been through and what we should not do. But he doesn't tell us, or she doesn't tell us, we should keep these laws, statutes, and commandments.
God.
Right? They always tell us, stay out the book. That's just a fairy tale. No, these is morals. These are the Most High's morals.
God.
And coming with breaking these moral standards comes with judgment, comes with death, sickness, captivity. And that's what we're in today. Well, if we would have kept the law, statutes, and commandments, we'd be put on high above all nations. We'd put on that high place. Right? Give me Deuteronomy 4:4. Right to 9.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, starting from 4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord thy God are alive, every one of you, this day.
Can't read.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and
Right?
judgments.
The Most High gave Moses law, statutes, commandments to teach us, right? And every one of us that cleaved unto the Most High back then are alive today. Those of us that didn't bow down, didn't serve, and didn't have no other gods before the Most High, we're alive today, right? We in this truth, we prophets of the Lord, right? Read.
Even as the Lord my God commanded me,
Come on, read.
that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
So wherever it was at in this on this earth, right? This earth is our earth, the Israelites' earth, right? We're supposed to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, right? And that's why we are on these street corners. That's why we are on the highways and byways to teach our people these laws, statutes, and commandments, like Moses did, right? Read.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding.
Right? The law, statutes, and commandments is our wisdom, is our understanding. Because coming with the law, statutes, and commandments comes judgment. That's the wisdom. That's the understanding. What's the consequences to breaking this law? What's the consequences to breaking that law? Many of these laws, death is what's the consequence, right? Or pain, or you steal, you pay back double and give back what you stole, right? Read.
In the sight of the nations.
In the sight of the rest of these nations, we're supposed to be set as an example. We're supposed to be leading these people, right? And when all these prophecies pass, and Lord willing, us brothers in the Sakari camp and brothers that pushing this truth throughout the four corners of earth, get that ticket, right? Get salvation, be able to not see that second death, right? As I said last Saturday, get beamed up, right? We'll be able to be in order, be in humility, right? And keep these laws, statutes, commandments, and be that light to the Gentiles. Because us being in the low standard that we are today, we can't be a light to these Gentiles. I mean, it's too late now, because now they're trying to be the light unto our people. But what their light is darkness, because their light comes with homosexuality, teaching homosexuality, pedophilia, right? Telling their kid they can be whatever gender they want to be. Telling you can eat pork, you can eat shrimp, all these abominable foods, right? But we're supposed to be put at that pedestal, right? We're supposed to be set as an example, right? We supposed to be the ones leading, right? Just like Moses led us out the wilderness, led us through the Red Sea, and taught these laws, statutes, and commandments commanded by the Most High. Yahweh, read.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Right. So even when these nations see us out on these street corners, they see us and they ask themselves, damn, how are these people so wise? How are these people so close to the Most High? Why hasn't nobody went up and socked them in the mouth?
Bring it out.
Right? Because we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. And the Most High is going to protect us. Right? The scriptures talk about he's going to put his angels encamped around about us when we go out to them street corners. Right? Demon might come up. Demon might come a little bit too close. We got our protective angels that come in and kick that demon's ass and kick him to the curb. Then these heathens, they'll soften up real quick, right? Or the Most High teaches. The scriptures talk about the Most High teaches our hands to war, right? Our fingers to fight, right? Go ahead.
For what nation is there so great, who hath God so nigh unto them?
Come on, go ahead.
As the Lord our God is in all things.
Right, the Lord who?
Our God.
Our power, read.
Is in all things that we call upon him for.
Right, he's in all things that we call upon him for. Pray without ceasing, right? Read.
And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day?
Come on, where you at?
That's verse 8.
That's verse 8. Go ahead.
Verse 9. Only take heed to thyself.
We're supposed to take heed to ourselves. Why? Read.
And keep thy soul diligently.
Come on, go ahead.
Lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen.
Right, keep our soul, our mind. Right? Those laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? to ourselves diligently. We're supposed to be diligently seeking the Most High and diligently keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? Read.
Unless they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them thy sons.
Right. So if we don't meditate day and night, as the scriptures say, and keep this law in our mouths, we gonna forget about it. We gonna go dry. But we supposed to do what? Read.
But teach them thy sons.
We're supposed to teach our sons. Read.
And thy sons' sons.
And our grandchildren. Read. That was it on that.
Con.
And that's what the scriptures talk about: training up a child in the way that he should go or she should go. Train up a child in these laws, statutes, and commandments. Build this nation back up, right? Let me get Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Right? Because, like I said, we're supposed to keep our soul diligently. Right? Keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments comes with diligence. It's a repetitive, right?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let's hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Right? Read.
Fear God.
Fear the Most High. This is the conclusion of your life. Right? You so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indians. Right? Fear the Most High. Read.
And keep his commandments.
And keep the commandments. Read.
For this is the whole duty of man.
Right? So this is the whole duty of man. That's why it says, teach our sons and thy sons' sons.
God.
That's our duty. Right? That continues a righteous nation being built up. Right? Now let me get Matthew 19 and 16. And then you can hold Revelations 22 and 14, and we can end there. So that's the whole
Revelation
duty.
22.
Yeah, 22 and 14. Revelation 22 and 14. So that's the whole duty of man. You keep these, and we're going to see what happens when we keep these laws, statutes, commandments, and we teach our sons and our sons, and all the way down. It's supposed to be a tradition, a generational thing, right? Go ahead.
It's the book of St. Matthew, chapter 19, verse 16.
And that's why we got to praise the Most High. That's why we got to pray without ceasing. Because the Most High can take the spirit off of us and put on somebody else and use somebody else as a vessel. We just vessels, man. We vessels for the Most High. We workers, we laborers for the Most High. Right? Go ahead.
St. Matthew, chapter 19, verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
Right, this lawyer talking to Yahushua, right? He called Yahushua that good master. He's asking, what good thing shall I do to have eternal life, right? To have salvation, right?
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good?
So Yahushua is asking him, why are you calling me good, read?
There is none good but one, that is Yahweh.
Khan, go ahead.
But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments.
So if you're going to enter into life, if you're going to enter into a rulership, into having dominion over all the animals, over the sea, over the skies, right, the earth, I keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? Got the last chapter. And this last book, the last chapter in the book of Revelation, right, 22, this goes out to all you religious believers, right? Those in the Christian church and the Catholic church, right? They go to St. Jude, those the Jehovah Wickedness, right? The Jehovah Witness per se. I like to call them Jehovah Witness because that's what they out there. They teach wickedness. They teach to bow down and serve Caesar Borgia, right? And not having fully understanding of the Bible because they don't deal with the law because they believe the law is done away with, right? But they'll walk around, they'll say, oh, I'm blessed. Oh, I'm saved. But Yahushua said those that shall be saved are the ones that are to the end. Right? Go ahead.
22:14, correct. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 14.
So let's see who's blessed. Go ahead.
Blessed are they that do his
It
commandments.
says, blessed are they that do his commandments. But Christians and Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses, they'll say the law is done away with, but they'll say they're blessed. You're only blessed if you keep the Most High's commandments. Go ahead.
That they may have right to the tree of life.
Right? That they may have right to the tree of life. Go ahead.
And may enter in through the gates, Slakia, and may enter in through the gates into the city.
Right? The gates into the city. Those 12 gates. The 12 tribes of Israel. If you ain't from the 12 tribes and you ain't kept the law, statutes, and commandments, you will not be entering into neither one of those gates.
That's right.
Right? So with that, Lord willing, y'all brothers and sisters was edified. Again, we want to give call law, Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai. That's all praise to the Most High God. In the name of his only begotten Son. We say Shalom.
Shalom.